Plaintiff Joseph Dillard met the defendant at work, and despite the fact that he's an Ozzy Osbourne wannabe who paints his fingernails black and practices witchcraft, Joseph thought he was a nice guy, and they moved in together. Joseph claims he even helped raise the defendant's daughter, and he's suing his former roommate today for utilities, rent, and emotional distress. Defendant Charles Paulman says he has no hard feelings towards Joseph and admits that Joseph helped raise his daughter. However, Charles claims he's fallen on hard times and has never been able to fulfill his dream of becoming a rock star. And that's why he fell behind in his bills.
Prove your case.
Okay, first of all, Judge Mathis, I'd like to say I watch the show all the time.
Thank you.
I taped it today while I was here.
All right.
And I'm just, I just hope when I see this case on TV, then I'm just as happy as I am now.
And I hope you keep watching it. Go ahead.
First of all, I met my roommate, Chuck, my ex-roommate, Chuck, in 2001. We worked for the same company. Seemed like a nice guy when I moved in with him, other than the fact that he looked like Ozzy Osbourne. He thought he was Ozzy Osbourne. You know, he's Ozzy Osbourne wannabe. I mean, the black
His hair
leather pants.
definitely looks like it.
Well, the black fingernails, also the mascara. He doesn't have it on now, but the black lipstick, the whole 9 yards.
Let me hear from you. You want to give me some background?
All you do, you be.
Huh? Yeah.
There you
go. Mumbling and jumbling like Ozzy
Blimey.
Huh?
Blimey.
Well, he says he's a rocker. He wants to be a star, but Judge Mathis, he's not in a band. You know what I mean?
Hold on. Is that true, sir?
Yeah. Basically, you know, I have nothing against Joe. I have no animosity. We've known each other for years. We've been friends for years, worked together for years. You know, it started out really great and everything. I've been trying my whole dream to get in the music business, you know, and it's a tough market out there. I've had some hits on the internet, but that's about it. I've been through a lot of, you know, hard times, you know, laid off numerous times. Besides that, Your Honor, I've also been, you know, evicted 3 times. Like years ago, after my wife died, which was very traumatic for me and my daughter. It happened like years ago. I met this girl and went out with her for a year. And, you know, she was pregnant with my son, and she just left town one day and didn't even tell me. And I haven't seen my son ever in 15 years. And I learned a big lesson from that. I will never, ever go out with a stripper ever again.
Oh.
Big lesson. Number 2, you know, in 2005, I was living with Joe. I went out with this girl. She was about to get evicted with her kids. I lent her $1,200 cash. She never paid me a dime back and then broke up with me after she got the money.
I don't mean to cut him off, but he was lending her $1,200 and wasn't paying his bills.
Let's get to you then. Give me some background on this again.
Well, he thought he was a warlock. I mean, Your Honor, he had a pentagram in the basement drawn under my bed. He was always telling me he's going to put a spell on me.
Sound like he had a lot of spells on him. That look he's had. But
I mean,
ahead.
he spent a lot of time, you know, drinking, drugs, weed. He did fine until about 2 years after he moved in and started slacking off. I guess the drugs and the weed and the beer and all that started doing him. He wasn't doing it. We went out. He moved his daughter in. I didn't mind that. She was a nice girl. She was 12. I made sure she ate every day. I made sure she had lunch money. When she got old enough to have a cell phone, I made sure she had one.
Okay.
Simply because I think a girl should have
for security, if nothing else.
Of knowing, you know what I mean, that there's somebody there. But I made sure all that take place, and I did not mind. It got worse in 2000.
Sir, is this true? You were irresponsible towards your daughter, and he had to take care of her for the most part?
I had a lot of hard times back then, you know, and I appreciate.
No. He's saying you wouldn't even be a responsible father in a way that didn't cost any money.
And I fell into some bad times back then. I have gotten out of it, though.
All right. Go ahead, sir.
I'm not saying he's biting bats' heads off, but he will eat a bug. Give him a couple of dollars. He'll eat a bug. Go find one.
You eat a bug, sir. You eat bugs.
I only did it once as it was a bet years ago. It was
So
a shock
I mean,
value.
around
And how long had you been living with him before he started eating bugs?
it was roughly about 3 years.
Because the more 3 years you were living, because the more you talk, I'm beginning to think something wrong with you. Something has to be wrong with you.
Well, you know
With a man
something,
with a-
Your Honor? I lived upstairs. Me and his daughter had a room upstairs, and he lived in the basement. If he wants to sit in the basement and eat bugs all day long,
All right.
he can do that as
How
long
does
as.
he owe you for utilities and rent, sir?
Well, in Iowa, where we live at, if you make a payment agreement on a bill and you miss it twice, it's in default.
you live in Iowa too?
Yes.
All right. People like to say they don't have any black people in Iowa. They definitely do. I'm convinced. They have too.
Well, originally, I'm from Chicago.
So you're the only black man there.
I'm
You
from
met
St.
him.
Louis. He's from St. Louis, but he's worked for the company too.
All right. Go ahead. What are you getting together to show me?
Well, it's 3 payments that I made of lump sums. One's for $747. Here's the bills to
What
you.
was the agreement, first of all?
That I would pay the bills and he would reimburse me.
Half? How
Yeah,
much?
half of the bill. I mean,
Okay.
when we moved in, first
Is that
of all,
right, sir?
Yeah, that was right, Your Honor, but can I reiterate?
Yes, sir. I know you had a lot of
No,
problems.
nothing like that. I had a roommate that was living there for 8 months, and there was a deal going on, I guess, where he was giving Joe $50 a week for rent. You know,
You
I don't know what
agreed
the
to
deal
pay
was
how
between
much
that.
of the utilities, sir?
I was supposed to pay half of the utilities.
All right. Thank you.
No.
Go ahead.
just to say something about this roommate, he moved this guy into the house in the basement with him.
Did you receive half of the utilities?
No, sir.
You paid 100%.
Yes, sir.
All right. When you asked him for your money, what did he say?
He said he didn't have it.
Okay, and he's failed to pay you. What about rent?
Well, that was for when he got evicted in 2006, August of 2006.
From where? From
the
your-
apartment.
All right.
Yes, sir. They evicted him. I was wise enough when I moved in to let the landlord
Did you
know.
pay his share?
No, I didn't.
So how does he owe you then?
Because when he left, he signed custody over for his daughter to me, and she stayed a month and a half after.
So you're suing for a rent
1
for
month.
his daughter?
Yes, sir.
Did he agree to pay you?
Yes, sir. He said he
Sir?
would help me out with the rent.
There was never any discussion of rent. When I moved out, I appreciate Joe for everything he's done.
No. I am not listening
No.
to all that.
Okay.
No. Did you sign over custody of your daughter?
I remember signing some paper there. I remember signing some paper, but I didn't know
Mathis?
it was custody of my daughter because, you know,
It was
in 2
temporary
months she was
custody.
What's
back
the
living
emotional
with me.
distress for, sir?
Because the gas was off when he left. And I didn't have all the money to pay the entire bill. So I had to go through October, me and his daughter.
Sir, are you suing because you didn't have money to pay the gas
I'm
bill
sorry because I
he
had to
didn't
go
pay
through
his
the
share and you
winter.
were
I had to go
cold?
to the winter with no heat.
Gotcha. That's what I was asking.
Yes, sir.
You. All right. And that's not emotional distress, sir. That is you trusting someone and allowing them to stay and not paying their bill. He proved he wasn't responsible as of 04. Yet the gas you're referring to must have happened some years later. Sir, I will grant you your unpaid rent for $250.
Thank you.
The
Judge
utilities as well, $1,576. All he's been able to do is to give me a sob story. Judgment for the plaintiff. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Judgment for the plaintiff.
Paid a bug once in my life on a bet. It was a whim bet, and I did it as shock value.
All right, can we find one around here? I'm sure we can find one. I got a couple of dollars. Oh, we're going to remain friends. I mean, Chuck, don't get me wrong. Chuck's a nice guy. He's just a lot irresponsible.
I've had a lot of problems in my life, and I've tried to clear them up. You know, I've gotten a new job recently, so I'm trying to get back on my feet and stuff. So, and I have nothing against Joe. You know, I owe him all my life, you know, because he did help my daughter, you know, at least get through high school, though that situation when I was homeless. So I really appreciate for what he's done for me. You know, I'd like to say that much, and we'll always be friends.